ENG Spanish! I ran out of time in my previous video, but this is just part 2 and it's going to take like a third of the time. So we're talking about usted commands. We went over our rules. Go to the yo, drop the o, opposite ending, check cargars are. No goes before, yes goes after. We just finished conocer, so our command is conozca. We just finished all these verbs. There are some irregulars that don't work with this little formula. So let's learn them now. If you can remember disses, not dishes, but disses, you will know the irregular usted commands. Okay? So disses. We'll start with the first verb. Dar, which you'll learn in Spanish too, but we learned it in Spanish 1, I guess, but it's dar, means to give. I stands for ir, to go. S stands for ser, to be. Y, estar, to be also. The last S stands for saber, to know. None of these verbs were in my previous example, any of these, because it wouldn't work with this formula, so that's why they're irregular. These, honestly, you just have to memorize. If you can remember disses, you know the verbs, but you just have to memorize the command forms. Okay, so we'll do our ustedes here. Our usted here, and then we'll do our ustedes here. They're not that different. But here, let me give you a close-up. There's your disses, sorry. Usted, and then ustedes. Okay? First, we'll start with dar. These, like I said earlier, you just have to memorize. Accents and everything. So, your usted command for dar, de, with an accent. The reason it has an accent is to differentiate from the preposition de. So, de with an accent. This one is ustedes, den. You're telling all your kids or your students or whatever, you're telling them, give money. So you would say, ustedes den dinero. Okay? The next verb, ir, your usted command, vaya. And your ustedes command, you just add an N. Vayan. And if you ever have seen King of the Hill, you know the little church guy who says, vaya con Dios. Well, he's using an usted command. Ser, to be. Your usted command is sea. Your ustedes command, sean. A lot of students will say si and Sean. If that helps you, then great. But just remember, that's not how you say it. Sea and sean. Next verb, estar. Usted command, este, with an accent to differentiate from a different word. And then the last one, estén, still with an accent. Saber, to know. Your usted command, sepa. Your ustedes command, sepan. Okay? So a lot of these you'll just add an N. Actually, all of them you'll just add an N. This one loses its accent. And again, these are your irregulars because they do not fit with this formula up here. As a matter of fact, let's try that. Let's put the verb ir in the yo form. Voy. There's no O at the end to drop. There's an O in the middle, but that doesn't count. It has to be at the very end. Okay? Let's do the yo form of dar, the verb to give. The yo form is doy. You'll start to notice something here. Ser, the yo form, soy. Estar, the yo form, estoy. Saber, well, this is a little different, but saber, the yo form is se. Obviously, there's no O to drop with that because there's no O at all. But these have the oi sound at the end. That one's just a little off because there's no O anyway. So basically, if you forget this for some reason, you kind of know, if you follow these rules, it won't work with those verbs anyway, so you know they're going to be irregular. But still, you'll have to memorize these. And I'll give you a close-up. Sorry. Now, so, enjoy. Those are your irregular usted and ustedes commands. You can remember by dis's. Alright, there they are. Okay. That's it for your usted commands. If you have any questions, feel free to comment.